Okay, so I've been doing a lot of processing since we got back from our vacation to New England. While I was there, I was supposed to be super peaceful. I picked the location, I picked the house, I picked a couple of things that I wanted to do, like must do's, right, while we're up there. But the whole idea behind it was to get the hell out of here, go relax, recharge, chill out in whatever way that looked like, right? Great idea, in theory. Because I spent a majority of my vacation angry as shit, like irrational, like agitation, and I could not for the life of me figure out why that was happening until I did. And I've been thinking about it a lot, so I wanted to jump on here and talk about how there was a sense of I wasn't doing vacation correctly, because for decades with my, parents, siblings, with partners, spouse, things like that, there's always been agendas and schedules and routines and stuff, even around vacation, like cram as much shit in, go have all the fun, go all the places, because it's not real vacation unless you do that. And we were making the conscious choice to not do those things, to not run around like crazy, to not be constantly go, 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 right? And I didn't understand it all at the time. I had like this little inkling that it could be that, but the more I've done reflecting on it, the more I understand that I was feeling like I was still living up to someone else's expectations of what my fucking vacation should be like. Instead of, sitting around looking at the lake on this beautiful porch, reading a book, like most of like a 700-page book while I was there, I was feeling guilty about it. And I don't like feeling guilty about stuff. I was made to feel guilty for decades, like my entire life, for just like being who I was or not rolling with the rest of the crowd, right? So I decided to apparently buck the system, and all those conditioned thoughts around what you should be doing during vacation. And I kind of ruined it for myself a little bit. Instead of relaxing, I was stressing about the fact that I was stressing and angry. And then like the aha moment came where, like I said, I have been taught that you do all the things. You don't really rest and recharge and relax. You run around like a crazy person doing all of this stuff because that's how you do it right. Lesson learned. Very hard lesson learned. I'm still kind of reeling from the fact that I feel like I wasted that time, but I'm trying to look at the silver lining in that I have uncovered a truth around other people's expectations and how they are still present in my life, even after I've gone no contact, even after 47 years of my life, and figuring out like, oh, I know who I am, and I know that like this other shit over here is no longer impacting me in the same way. False. It totally is. Completely, totally is like running the show. And I just thought I would jump on here and let you know that if that's happening for you too, you are so not alone. As shitty as it feels, the revelation is necessary, honestly, because now I get to engage in my own experiences more mindfully and intentionally, like, and on purpose, the way that I want to do it. So the next time I go on vacation, leave the home for an extended period of time, or even just want to sit here and do nothing, I don't have to feel guilty about it. Nobody's having expectations of me but myself at this point, because the people who do have those expectations are no longer in my life. So I'm extending this invitation to you to look at it that way too. You know, if you're having an experience where you thought, well, I'm done with that shit, or I'm done with that dynamic, and you find yourself irrationally angry and you can't explain why, dig a little bit deeper, listen to yourself, get quiet for a minute and go, who's really talking here? Is this me now? Is this me then? Is this somebody else's somebody else entirely? Like, you know, like somebody else's conditioned expectations. So if you're planning a trip and you see this beforehand, take note. But just like, I want this to be a reminder to us all that that stuff still lives within us long after going no contact. And unfortunately, we get the privilege, right, of sorting through what still remains that is suppressed, that we think we've, you know, processed enough, that's still impacting like our day-to-day stuff and our big stuff. So if you are doing that now or any day, I definitely see you. You're not alone. We're in this together. And, you know, it will be hard to realize those truths, but it will be worth it when you finally realize I'm the captain of this ship now, not parents, not siblings, not ex-friends, none of those things. We're in charge now. So get to it, I guess. Get through it, and one day at a time.